Y'all see the time, right? It's almost time, baby. You ready?
I'm so ready. Are you ready?
I'm ready. Now, make sure y'all hitting the thumbs up. Make sure y'all comment and let us know where y'all tuning in from. The show Get 'em to the Metaverse is about to start. Are y'all ready?
Yes.
Come on, make some noise. Put some fire emojis in the comment section. It's about to be insane. It's about to be insane. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let's go. Yeah. It's called Get 'em to the Metaverse. You gotta get 'em to the Metaverse. There's Joy. There's Joy over there. It's me.
Jay Dunn.
It's me right here. It's called Get 'em to the Metaverse. You gotta get 'em to the Metaverse. Let's go.
Woo!
Hold up. Hey, hold up. Hey, you catch the vibes. Catch the vibes. So how you feeling, Joy Rain?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Get 'em to the Metaverse. Listen, we have a fantastic show today with an amazing guest. I cannot wait to get into it. But first, how are you doing today, Jay Dunn?
See, I'm feeling real good. Yeah, okay. I'm feeling real good. Yeah, because we about to have one of the coolest shows today, and I'm feeling real good. Talk to me, yeah. Anyway, welcome back to Get 'em to the Metaverse, where the mission is to help to make the extraordinary metaverse an ordinary part of life with the absolutely amazing and incredible, gorgeous Joy Rain and your boy, Jay Dunn. Y'all know how we get down, man. I miss doing this show.
Yes, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
But so much has been going on, right?
It's been so much going on. And there's, you know what? That's the reason why we're having this special, super amazing, incredible episode today. Because, man, I wanna get into it right now, but I gotta let it breathe for a second. Joy, you looking real good right now. I just want to say that you're looking real good. You're feeling good. Yeah, the energy is just
Thanksgiving. A fantastic Thanksgiving break where we got to rest and eat some really good food, on top of that.
Yes.
And, the Black Friday shopping, that's always a highlight as well. So,
absolutely.
Yeah, we had a great holiday.
I'm going to be honest with you. It wasn't no need to do Black Friday shopping because we've been shopping all year. Okay?
Right.
We've been shopping all year. But there's a reason why we've been going, because there's been so many things happening in the XR space. And what we had to do is we had to figure out how would we figure. This is my thought. Okay. I'm gonna stop the music. Because we're about to get into our actual guest in a moment. But the excitement is Quest 3 launched, and from the weekend before, we have just been working. Okay.
Yeah. All in this space.
All in this space, because XR is truly about to take its next big leap into what I believe 2024 is going to be like the year. It's just going to whew. So what we had to do is we had to go find the people who literally have been pushing XR since the very, very beginning of it. And so we got somebody very special in the building today. But you know how we do it, Get 'em to the Metaverse. We don't just do normal intros. We got to do it fancy. So we're going to bring our guests in right after this very cool intro. Let's do it.
Said Bakadir is a Senior Director of Product Management at Qualcomm Technologies Incorporated. He leads the XR AR/VR business, including partners engagement and product strategy. Said has had leading roles in the industry across engineering, product marketing, product management, and business development. He has managed numerous technologies and device launches ranging from early GSM, UMTS feature phones, and modem dongles to recent smartphones, robotics, drones, and XR products. So without further ado, we welcome our special guest, Said Bakadir.
Yo! How you doing, man? How
Welcome.
you feeling today?
So good, man. It's like whatever you guys went through, I'm already in the metaverse. I'm excited. I'm excited. What
Th-
are we gonna
that's
do
it.
today?
That's it, man. No, we are just
Love
so
to hear it.
excited. Look, I want to stop the video. We are so excited to have you in the building to talk all
Absolutely.
about our favorite topic. We think it's your favorite topic too, all about XR. And the really cool thing about what we do, we'll get them to the metaverse, is we have these incredible questions we love to dive into with our guests. And so we're going to jump into our first one today. Joy, you want to jump into your first question?
Yeah. So, Saeed, tell us about your journey. How did you begin to work with Qualcomm? Where did it start? How did you end up becoming an AR, VR, MR, XR product and business lead?
Oh my gosh. Well, first of all, thank you so much, guys, for inviting me to your amazing show. How
Oh,
much
thank
time
you.
we have? It's gonna take a long time.
All the time you need, brother.
Whatever time
Well,
you have, we have.
thank you. I'm gonna try to make it brief, just like a few hours, but it's gonna
Let's
be.
do it.
So, my journey. I started Qualcomm back in Europe before I joined Qualcomm. Actually, Qualcomm, I heard about Qualcomm during my studies between France and Morocco. I was doing telecommunication and theory of communication, like environment, modelization, 3G, 2G at the time. And there are names that just like you will meet, they're like Erwin Jacobs, Viterbi, etc. And
Mm,
so in Qualcomm. And Qualcomm was like, yeah, that's the house I want to get into. Not too
mhm,
long, I got in about 2005 to Qualcomm Europe, trying to evangelize 3G at the time. If you remember, Europe was 2G GSM, right? So we basically drove the transition from GSM to WCDMA as
wow.
before. And of course, through multiple roles, working with different OEMs. If you remember the flip phones, I'm too old. Okay, all right. Flip
Oh, we
phone,
remember the flip phones.
Come on, man, for sure.
not the flip Samsung that you have now, or no, the really flip phones, like very
Oh
old feature.
yeah.
Oh yeah, the
Uh,
Motorola Razors and stuff like that for sure.
Thank you, those. And the type of data cards when 3G just came in. So I worked on all of those. And I had multiple roles from engineering to marketing to product. And slowly but surely, smartphone came in. So I was fortunate to be part of that transition from the feature phone to smartphone, but also from
Mhm.
2G to fully 3G and from 3G to 4G. And I've seen all unfolding from the early days of Windows CE to the early starts of the Android. Um,
Wow.
comes
Wow.
Yes, it was a too long of a journey, but it was enjoyable. I enjoyed every piece of it. Even if I go back, I would do it exactly the same way.
Mhm.
2013, two of my biggest customers at the time, Sony Ericsson and Nokia, got bought. Sony Ericsson was bought by Sony, so and Nokia
Mhm.
was bought by Microsoft, and I had a choice to either Japan or US, and the decision was Japan.
Wow.
Mhm.
For some reason, I changed my mind 3 months later, and I came. It's true, actually. I was all done going to Japan, but then okay, I'm going to go to US. And coming to US, again, the relationship with Nokia. Windows was the start point. I was in the middle of what we call today Windows on Snapdragon. We started; it was still at
Okay.
the time very, very early days, but also Windows Phone.
Yes.
We failed. I failed that. Okay, it was a lot of phones, but for different reasons. We're not going to get into that. One day, if you want to know, I'll tell you why we failed on that. 2014, 15, I met this gentleman called Hugo Svart,
Come on.
and we started talking. And he said, "Hey, yeah, he was doing IoT at the time. It's like I was saying, I'm done with phones. I'm done with computer. I want to change. I want to do something different." He said, Why don't you start tomorrow? Come on, I need a mini GM for robotics and drones. That's
Mm.
what. So I started doing robotics. If you remember, early days of 14, 15 drones was a thing, was a big thing at the time,
Mhm.
and worked with the ecosystem to get multiple devices, by the way, at the time in the market. Again, little success because of FAA. If you remember, like the drone stories, getting planes down,
Oh yeah.
concern
Mhm.
phones, all of that. It was a big thing, and we decided, okay, why don't we try XR? And since then, I've been doing XR,
Come
and
on.
Wow.
here we are now today. So and we started from XR at the time, it was VR particularly, it was a PC VR. Our mission was, how do we get it mobile? Just like what we did with drones. My mission was, how can I get a drone to everyone in their pocket? And the idea, it's not even a drone, I want a flying camera. You don't want to ask anybody to take your picture. Just get
Come
something
on.
from
Mhm.
it, throw it up, and it takes a picture of you. That was the thing.
Wow. You know,
What a journey.
just listening to this, realizing that you've touched, and it's beautiful because it helps so much with XR for where XR is going. You've touched every part of the kind of the transition from personal computing to mobile computing, and
Yep.
now from mobile computing to spatial computing. And it's very exciting to see that transition. And you brought me back because I'm thinking about the Windows Tilt phone that I absolutely love. Shout out to the Windows Tilt phone. Um, it, it, it
Best phone ever.
it was the greatest. It was the phone I got right before I got into like the Apple ecosystem and even the Android ecosystem. So it was very much a time when we were just beginning to see what a PC could be like in mobile, and now we're
Mm.
transitioning to spatial. So that leads me to my next question, which would be, what was your first experience with XR that made you believe that this technology is going to basically be huge?
Oh, that's a great question.
Yeah. So I think my first encounter with anything called immersive goes back to 2009, 2010. Was still in Europe at the time with Vuforia. If you guys remember, we had Vuforia, part of Qualcomm at the time. And I was trying to grow our ecosystem of application. There were two of them. One was Vuforia, another one was called All Join. I don't know if you remember that. And my mission was to get the developer community through Europe to adopt those applications. It was really my first kick of, oh my gosh, I'm seeing an image in the air. I don't
Mm.
need that's my
Yeah.
way. That was for me the first kick that really got me thinking. But it wasn't enough to get me going to it at the
Come on.
time.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
As I was doing drones and I was getting frustrated with FAA rules and whatnot, I went to GDC. That was my first time at GDC in San Francisco. And I was representing Qualcomm. And one of my close friends said, hey, I have a meeting with this medical company that want to talk to you. And went there, very excited what the medical company would do with an XR device. I was barely knowing what VR is in details, how to get it to mobile,
Yeah.
technology-wise. Medical company, this, what's the relationship? I sat down with the co-founders, and they started with this sentence, literally. Said, we want to rewire people's brain.
Oh,
Hmm.
wow.
What would
Okay.
you think? I thought, to be honest with you, I was like, oh, these guys are smoking something, or I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
For 1 hour, they were giving me, look, almost a monologue, and me saying, yes, for an entire hour, being nice to them.
Yeah.
We
Mhm.
finished. I didn't go with it, stuck with me, rewiring brains. Like, yeah, no way. At the same time, I had a next meeting was a friend of mine that had a startup from France, and he built this PCVR with an HMD that was 180-degree FOV. It was early days, and it was huge. And he said, "I want you to see the demo." So it was in the basement of where the fair was. So I tried that demo, and they showed me as soon as I put it, I was in top of this building. If you're familiar with the King Kong demo, where no, the movie King Kong movie, where
Okay.
you're looking from the top. You barely see the roads.
Mhm.
And as I put it on, I barely like sit down. I was like standing on the floor,
Mhm.
and then I couldn't move. He said,
Wow.
just move on the front. He was not trying to give me anything, just like move a little bit on the front. I couldn't move. I had this fear that is coming
Yeah.
into me. And I was like, it kicked into me. What's happened to my brain? I know I'm not gonna fall, yet I couldn't. That is rewiring the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I said, okay. Now I remembered my discussion earlier. I put down that and I run up again. They were still sitting in the same table. And I say, hey, let's talk again. Tell me what you want to do. Tell me again. Because they explained it. I didn't pay attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
said,
Yeah.
"What about that story of rewiring the brain?" It turns out they wanted to treat stroke management where people, they cannot move parts of their body, they cannot talk, they cannot do when they get a stroke. And
Mhm.
it comes down just to rewiring your brain to start getting back that ability, right?
Mm.
Mhm.
Fast forward, I'm not gonna bore you. Fast forward, I said, okay, we're gonna do a prototype. So we did a prototype with PCVR where there was actually the first patient, the trial, it was a friend of the co-founders, and she was based in San Diego. And they built basically this experience where there is first of all, the lady is 80 years plus, and she got a stroke 10 years before. She couldn't move her
Wow.
hand. Her
Yeah.
hand
Mhm.
stuck 10 years. She's been doing physiotherapy on a yearly basis. Still, she
Mhm.
couldn't move her. Um, and they said, okay, we're gonna start giving her that HMD on the head. Well, first of all, it was like the first time it was like just initiating her. I just put it on. What do you see? Do you see it right, wrong, etc. But then at
Mhm.
the end, we in front of her a kid in the picture of her grandson. The kid has a ball, and what the kid would do is throw a ball at her.
Wow.
The instant is what the lady would try to
Have to catch
catch.
it. Oh, wow.
You wouldn't believe it, but this is truth. This is reality, and this is happening in San Diego. In 1 week, she managed to move her hand.
Wow. That's
Isn't that,
incredible.
isn't that? I'm committed to this technology. I'm committed to a technology that can help a person achieve something that will change their life that they couldn't achieve in 10 years, despite every little advancement that is there, right?
Wow.
Whew.
There, because for me, VR, all of us maybe VR at the beginning, what was it? Gaming, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes.
That's it for me. VR, it's gaming. It's most of the application, on browser and whatnot. It was gimmicky. It was like
Mhm.
to have. It's just like you going and sitting down and in a PlayStation and play a game. It's my downtime.
Mhm.
Now, becoming a tool that changes people's life, that solves problems that were not solvable before, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything since I was very young, I was always wanted to be in the medical side. I was like, this is it. This is the entrance to something that changes everything that we thought about.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
this is where really my belief is. This is this is a different era. This is a different thing that will
Mhm.
really change the way. This is my last part of my career. At least that was my thinking.
Yeah.
Love
And
that.
that's it. I committed all my energy towards that. And more we dig, we talk to people, we find there are a lot more use cases. So VR, MR, XR in general, when I get excited about it, it started just like the use cases I'm thinking about. It's beyond
Mhm.
gaming. It's the social aspect of it. It's the travel aspect of it. I'm coming from Africa. When I think about my people there that couldn't see what I saw in person, now they can
Yeah.
they
Mhm.
can see it. When I think about like the stroke management, the phobias treatment, the surgeons, you cannot imagine when you go to any of these events, you meet different startups from different areas. You're touching every single area.
Yeah.
I can challenge anybody, tell me one area in our life and X I won't touch it. Even when you're
That's
walking doing nothing, you can wear
Yeah.
glasses, tell you, hey, Joy, don't forget you have a meeting in 5 minutes.
That's right.
Yeah,
Man, look. First of all, I just wanna be like, let me get some good claps because first of all,
absolutely.
we've had a lot of people come on the show and talk about their first experiences with XR and be like what sold them, and I feel a little bit embarrassed. Like for me, it was dancing with a robot. I was like, yo, this is it. Like we
Yes,
is
that's it.
me and Joy were like, we are done. Okay, we're giving everything to this, but it's so beautiful because Joy, she had this unction the second she got the Quest 2. And she was
Yeah,
like, this is much more than a gaming device. And at that
absolutely.
time, it really didn't have really a whole lot of other applications. There was just things about Infinite Office. They were talking about different things. Workroom wasn't around yet. Immerse was just beginning to take off. And so the use cases we begin to see now, like with fitness and things like that, it's just changing the way
Oh
people
yeah.
use these devices. And then when we went to AWE, our minds were just blown because we started seeing all these industries who were using this to train people like in Chick-fil-A and McDonald's. Like I'm like, what, you're using VR to train people in Chick-fil-A? Like that's incredible. Because I love that chicken, man. So just incredible time. And so that actually I believe leads us to our next question as we begin to get into more of
Yeah.
standalone VR, etc.
Absolutely. The Snapdragon XR2 Gen 1 has been the industry standard for just about every standalone VR headset to date. Okay, so tell us why the XR2 Gen 2 is such a big deal.
Oh wow. So when we look into MR VR device, what we've done so far, even when you say XR2 Gen 1 powering pretty much every standalone device out there, bringing the mobility, bringing at least a tool that is accessible to everybody,
Yeah.
still crawling. Think about it. We just still, it's really the beginning. And it's a long journey. XR2 Gen 2, think about it as you're going from crawling and starting to walk because it does introduce a new mode, which is the walking, right? Which is
Yeah.
it's the MR. It's not that it wasn't there. The baby can stand, but he needs to be like a little bit stabilized. But now
Right.
themselves, MR is going to be very critical, really bring to break one friction that was there, which is VR. It's occluded from the your reality, etc. It's
Yes.
great for certain things. It's not for others. And always people are users are not stupid. Users are very very smart. They know
Hmm.
what works and what doesn't work, and you gotta listen to them. And that one of the key friction is, hey, I'm occluded. I don't want to
Yes.
move my device every time. I want to just see if the baby is crying or not, right?
Absolutely.
So MR was critical. We knew it. We announced it, if you remember, maybe a couple of years ago. And Exatu Gen 2 is taking a first step towards that. The second thing that Exatu Gen 2 is bringing is really um, addressing I would say, the three key pillars of a great experience.
Hmm.
Visuals, which is we need more pixels for a better
Yes.
Yes.
quality. You need more pixels. So
Absolutely.
you need more of that. You need more pixels. You need more processing power. You need a better GPU, right? You need a more CPU. You need more AI, right? Because even AI makes those pixels better now that I know what you're looking at. You need more
Absolutely.
features that will be adapted into the mobile, the fact that I'm mobile, like foveation, like super resolution, etc. The second pillar is, again, demanding, is interactions. We need richer interactions.
Mm.
People don't understand
Oh,
what tracking is, don't understand what hand tracking is, the eye tracking is. I just want to be immersed. We know
yes.
immersion, you need more and more tracking of yourself, of your environment, which means more cameras, which means more CV computation, more AI for the kind of, like hand tracking and eye tracking, etc.
Hmm.
So what Exatu Gen 2 is really bringing more of those resources to make sure we up the experience, which is the third pillar. How do we make the experience even much better now when you put it together? Those interactions.
Yeah.
By the way, one key aspect that we always sometimes overlook, it's the audio, right?
Come
I
on.
need audio. I need, because
Yes.
sound is everything. Guess what?
Yes.
Blind people live with sounds,
Come on.
Yes.
right? So that's very critical. I can go on and on, like connectivity, this and this, but we perceive as a users is what is important, and those are the three pillars that I would say. Once they are there, they deliver an experience to the user that they want to go back to every
Yes.
time they
Mhm.
go back into it. It's better than doing it in my 3D screen, right? So that's the starting of the walking. We're not done. There's more to come, right? The key
Yes.
thing for Sato Gen 2, why are you gonna tell me, so is this the limit for you, Qualcomm? Can't you do more pixels
Come
than
on.
what you're more AI? Do everything there. Sure, I can build a Ferrari engine, but how many people would get it? One
Come
of the
on.
keys we
That
want
part.
is get it to everybody.
Mm.
Yes.
And this is where, and we're greedy as a human. Human is greedy. We want everything. We want the best performance, lowest power, lightest HMD. No. And the challenge that we have as a product, people, this is where I put my product hat, is what is that balanced or sweet spot where you get the best performance at the lowest power at the most optimal cost that everybody is going to enjoy and experience.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And a
So
lot
the,
of people, they want don't want to sacrifice something that, just like you said, they want everything. And being that product manager, you can't please everybody, but you have to be able to get that sweet spot. So I completely understand where you're coming from with that.
And not only that, what I absolutely love is you said something that is our mission is to help to make the extraordinary metaverse an ordinary part of life, which means it's not going to be the $3,500 headset. Sorry, Apple. It's going to be the device that you can get that's at a price range that's more acceptable. Then that doesn't mean the prosumer won't have those opportunities. We were day one buyers of the Quest Pro. We had the XR2 Gen 1 Plus, right? So we were like, yo, we're going to get this thing. We jumped in full throttle, mixed reality. But there was a new device that just recently came out, and it's the Quest 3. We were at the launch event. We got a chance to see you there at Connect. And this thing here, okay, has
Oh
taken
yes.
it to the next level. It's the first standalone with the actual XR2 Gen 2 in it. So I had a question that I wanted to ask specifically on that. The MetaQuest 3 is the first device, once again, to launch with the XR2 Gen 2 platform. Can you tell us a little bit about the process it took to get such a powerful chip into the latest Quest device and what features that excite you the most about it?
this is this is the part maybe I call that is an enjoyable, ugly, tough journey.
Love it.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I'm very, very thankful for the Meta team for being such an amazing partner. You can't believe that the start point of that engagement on what's now Quest 3, based on Exato Gen 2, it starts 4 years ago, right? So because there is a time we are imagining what the product is 4 years ago to give time to build a chip
Yeah.
that will be Meta then builds a device for the developers to build the content for it to be available for the user. It's a long process. And there is a lot of bets that we make in terms of where should we be? Is that enough or not?
Come
And
on.
it is a lot of fun. It is a lot of fun though. So it was enjoyable. So we've announced our collaboration, our close collaboration with Meta. I think our CEO announced it with Mark Zuckerberg last year, and that was part of that process where we work very closely. We set a vision. We set what are the compromises we will take. What kind of cost targets we want to get into. Because again, you don't want to get into the trap of I want add. Engineers want more. You give them more, they will do more, right? That's not
Absolutely.
the most difficult part. It's not to add more. It's how do you say no to something? It's how do you remove something?
That's
And yes, and that was a whole process where we're working really as one team with the Meta team to get to where we are now across all disciplines. Think about it from the specs to how do we validate it, what experience we would put in there, how did it come together. Really, I would say one team spirit that can get us such a device.
Wow, and we absolutely. Let me tell you something. We love our Quest 3 devices,
oh
okay? Like
yes.
we pre-ordered immediately. We were like, we got to get these things and we're super excited about one of the reasons why we were super excited about because we love that we're now, like you was talking about earlier, stepping into mixed reality. Which we believe is the next paradigm shift, right, with spatial computing and where things are heading. We've fallen in love with these experiences, and we was already sold on Metaverse, but now the technology behind it that's driving this innovation. And I know MetaQuest is not the only is not the only devices that will eventually have these chips in it. It's just the first one to launch with it. And so it was just exciting to hear some of that behind the scenes and understanding because we love these things so much. We don't always know what it takes to bring them to market. Hearing that
Absolutely.
this journey was 4 years, in the making just for this particular chip. So that makes me excited to know how, what other chips could be in the process there. But it also leads into our
Next
next
question.
question because of the amount of years. So go ahead, Joy, with that next question.
Absolutely. So you have worked at Qualcomm for over 7 years now, and basically you've seen the XR phase in its infancy, right? And so do you think that we are still in the good old days, like the early days of XR, or do you think that the adaptation curve for XR is about to be off the charts?
You're asking me a question that we get every time from our management. We're gonna go up. It is. I always give two parallels to this. One is the internet, and one which is related is the smartphone. Right. Um, we are in a long journey to get where we want to be because remember the technologies of today enable just a piece of it, but the big part of it, technology are still in the making.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel very good with how the market is evolving. There is ups and downs, but it's all going up. It's all going up,
Yeah.
just like any curve. There is no just I would say from that big jump, we are at an inflection point. I think the next couple of years, and you will know, I think you said it at the introduction, 24 is very exciting. It's not only Quest 3 is there now, there are more players are coming in. Apple
Yes.
coming in, we're happy. We're very happy for Apple to come in with Vision Pro, right?
Mhm.
Um, that's gonna add and more. Maybe you can guess others that will be coming in that are very serious about this market. The key thing
Absolutely.
is the big players in the market today believe that XR is the future.
Mhm.
So our mission, our number one mission is done, by the way, guys. We should celebrate this next time we meet. We should celebrate it. Everybody
Yes.
knows it. It's just a timing thing. How is gonna really prevail? All of those are really things that will change over time as technologies are getting better.
Yeah.
IMAR is a great step to it. When you think about, for example, IMAR for me, it's because everybody knows that the AR is where we want to be.
Yeah.
But I cannot get the color quality, the field of view, at the price point that I
Yes.
used to buy it where they are today. So let me cheat. I'm gonna do video see-through. Yeah,
Yes.
it comes with some challenges. Sure, I'm gonna accept that. Still, it gives me a window to be present in my environment,
Yes.
right? So, very excited. I think to go back to your question, I think we are not at the right beginning. We were at the beginning maybe in just 2019 with Go Quest 1. I think Quest 2 showed that it does solve problems, right? And now we need a leap in performance. Now people say, oh, but Quest is very heavy. I want it to be lighter. I want it to do more. I want it to be like I want to be present in my environment. So we're solving that problem, and it's going to continue. Now we're getting closer to that inflection point where really it's going to become like more of a smart, what you see today in a smartphone. Think about the smartphone, how long it took. It's going to be much faster. It's going to be much faster than the smartphone.
Yes. You know, it's beautiful because just hearing what you're talking about, because, we both feel like, after really getting into the Quest 2, now getting into the Quest 3 with the Quest Pro, like we're beginning to see, even though we know it's early, it's still sort of early, we're beginning to see like that evolution steps are changing very quickly. And like you said earlier, being excited about Apple coming in, and in some ways, we were at AWE, which was the week before Apple announced their headset, and I remember Mark Zuckerberg, comes out with his announcement. Quest 3's here. A lot of people thought, oh, this was in reaction to Apple coming out next week, and it's like, no, we've been planning this for months. This not anything like that, but the validation of so many people who watched that Apple keynote, right? Who, me as well, with tears almost in my eyes, going, I'm so excited to finally see this validation that it brings, right? This step that it takes to, it's not the price range, it's the point that a big, huge player, which allows us to know if Apple's thinking that way, then we already know Samsung, Google, you guys, Qualcomm has, partnered with them. So there's opportunities that's coming soon where we're going to begin to see a lot of these things begin to manifest. And so I got a question for you now. We're about to put you on the hot seat. All right. So the question is, what do you better be ready. All right. We about to do it. Okay. What do you personally believe is the killer app for mixed reality?
Ooh.
That's
Great
right.
question.
I'll be back. So I think, again, in parallels, let's look at the smartphone, for example, because everyone takes smartphone as an example, even though it's bigger than the smartphone. What's happening, the transformation that we're going through is bigger than the smartphone. When we look at the smartphone, and you would ask the question, I'll ask you guys, by the way, I want to get your view. What is the use case for the smartphone?
Ooh, man. All right. I would say communication. Communication is the killer app for me. Being able to have instant connection to family, friends, loved ones via
Definitely
email.
the social aspect.
Yeah.
Yeah, connecting people.
So I'll tell you what, my killer use case, and I'm just gonna go. Maybe communication, but I call it social. The social aspect that this technology is bringing is gonna be the killer use case. And now add social to everything else: social gaming, social, social anything, social communication. Now, how is it like I would be communicating with you guys right now, and instead of me sitting down in a seeing a 2D screen, you right, Joy, you're there, sitting like you're at the class, whatever you want to be, all right? And we're talking and we're sharing and we like being present in one space. I think when the social aspect that XR technology is bringing is something that is closer to reality. It's beyond just being behind a 2D screen. Now suddenly I can communicate with you and have a feeling that you're with me. I'll tell you one experience I had. Goes back to Oculus Go, and goes back to again why I believe this technology really is happening. If you remember, Oculus at the time, Facebook, had an agreement with the World Cup soccer. I'm a soccer guy, so I watch soccer and with the World Cup, right?
Okay.
And my cousin is in France. I'm here, And though the quality was terrible, right, on the screen, the fact that I was sitting like in the stadium, like I feel like the cheering, like you're in the stadium, and my cousin was sitting next to me. And guess what? There are other people I don't know
Come on.
sitting
Yeah.
there, and they would talk like a normal, like you're hearing like chatter and people around, and sometimes you pay attention to what people are saying. We have,
Yeah.
and you're talking to your cousin, and you're watching the game.
Come on.
That
Mhm.
was crazy to me.
Oh
I
yeah.
forgot about the quality being very bad. Right?
Come
I
on.
forgot completely about that quality. So I think the killer use case is again redoing what happened in smartphone in steroids and bringing the social aspect to everything we do. Like if you look to teenagers today, they love gaming,
Hmm.
but you see them talking. Like I have my cousins playing in the garage, right? And I hear him talking and talking. It's like, is he playing a game or talking? Actually, it's both. They need that. That's where the kind of Roblox and all of this type of applications will be super critical. So I think the killer part of any experience that will bring is the social, and the social could be I call it industrial social. Like I'm doing an operation now. I'm fixing a machine and I need help. And I call you in and you coming in and you tell me, okay, go change this piece here or do that or do this. Call it collaboration. I call it the enterprise social, or it's that presence with
Yeah.
different people in the same space that brings the power of this technology.
Oh,
Wow.
absolutely. I've witnessed that firsthand from my show Joy in the Morning that I have in Meta Horizon Worlds, where we get together, and the whole premise of the show is to help people become more joyful, optimistic, and yearning for positivity. And what I've noticed is that when I was world hopping and seeing different people in the metaverse, is that we all had a story and we all been through different situations. And I created a space that people felt safe to share those experiences and really learn from each other to help people overcome whatever situation that they're going through. And so I know 100% exactly what you're talking about as far as that social aspect is concerned, where people let their guards down, they be their authentic selves, and they're willing to help other people and have that social connection with people on a
Yes.
deeper level is incredible that you couldn't get in a 2D um, you know,
Yeah.
atmosphere, not a Zoom call.
That's it. That's it. No, and I love that you even mentioned about like the sporting event, and we went through something very similar to that and it was
Yeah.
called venues at the time that Meta had Horizon venues where we literally was in this event chilling, having a good time at a concert, and then me and Joy up in there just getting in, dancing in, right? We just, having us a good time. And this guy from all overseas,
Argentina.
Argentina, is like,
Yeah.
he's like, you mind if I just, stand by you guys? We're just having this conversation. Come to find out, the guy's like, wait a minute, you guys live in the same house? He was like, yeah. You guys are actually dating each other? Like, yeah, but y'all both are in headsets separately? Yeah. And he was like, can I friend you guys? And he friends us. He sees our pictures. He's like, can you mind? Joy, you're beautiful. Like, yes, she's beautiful. Of course she is. And look, I just keep on dancing, man. So it's
Yeah, we had a great
incredible that social. You cheated a little bit, but I love it. I love it because you gave us social, but then you're like social gaming, social this, social that. You cheated a little bit, but all right. Let's get to the
love
next question, Joy.
Yes, yes. So Saeed, travel with us 5 years into the future. Okay. So what do you think, or what could you imagine these XR devices would be able to do?
Everything that we want to do with them today or think we are doing with them today in a much better way
Mm,
because we will spend more time there. So, particularly if you think about collaboration, communication, compute, like that's what the social compute is about, we will
yeah.
find it more much easier, I would say, to do it in an XR device because now I can wait longer. I can, the batteries are better, the quality is much better. I don't get eye fatigue. I don't get any of that people are saying today. Hey, I cannot wait for very long. I like it, but it's not there.
Yeah.
It's gonna be there. Also, who knows? One of the things always I give the power to developers. It's
Mm,
just like plus one is equal to three. I don't know what that you asked me about the killer use case, and I said social, and but let's give some space. What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
It's gonna be crazy what's gonna happen there in 5 years. What I'm sure in 5 years, we're gonna get better hardware, better software, more
Yeah.
performance, more power to the developers to build experiences that blows people's mind.
I love it.
But there
Love
might be still laggers that will say, "Oh, that's not enough." Just like today, people believe me, there are people that still want to stick to a feature phone. Maybe you don't know them, but there are still people that don't want a smartphone. We will
Oh,
have those people.
well, we know a few of those. We don't worry. We know a few. But I love what you just said because it leads into something I want to talk about because I don't believe XR is going to really get where it needs to get to until it becomes at a price range. Also, that's easy. I've often told Joy this, and we've often said this on the show that we don't believe it's going to take off until you can go into a gas station. The same way you go to a gas station and get a cell phone, various types of cell phones, so almost anything, you'll be able to go in and get some type of XR device or XR glasses, just as simple. And we believe in the next 5 years, we're going to begin to see those types of things. Like there might be a Quest 2, since it's still in the market, it's still selling, it sold well during Black Friday. I think like over 100,000 units or something crazy like that. So there might be devices like that maybe because they're bulkier, they're going to be cheaper to make and things like that will be in these stores, but that also helps the minorities. That also helps people in low income. And so my leading question into this is how important is diversity and inclusion in the XR space, not only to Snapdragon, but also in what's happening at Qualcomm, but also to you personally?
It's front and center because I've been a minority all my life. So everywhere I go, I've been
Yes.
a
Yeah.
and I know what it means to have a voice for minority. And you can't build if we believe that XR enables a new world, right? You can't build a new world that is inclusive, that has a voice for everybody, if the builders are not inclusive and diverse.
Absolutely.
And that's our mission. I'm actually proud, even if you look at XR team within Qualcomm, a really, really a diverse team. Qualcomm pays a lot of attention. I've been part of NISB. You guys, I'm sure you know of
Yeah.
NISB,
Yes.
National Society of Black Engineers. It's an amazing forum to get, for example, to one side of diversity and inclusion, and we have a lot more, and we have always XR being part of it. Um, no matter what, there is more to do when it comes to diversity and inclusion. There is always more to do.
Come on.
Uh, it's still number 3 or 4 item. It's not front in
Yes.
every forum, and it's people like you and I, and maybe hopefully a lot more, that can remind the world that hey, we should put that front.
Yeah.
Right? Let's speak it up. Let's say it. So now this is from people that work in XR, that work in Qualcomm, but there is a sense as well that the XR, the new world of spatial compute, is going to be a window for diversity, for inclusion.
Yes.
Because if you think about, let's go back to the social media today, it took off because people can be whatever they want, right,
Yeah.
behind digital data. Now imagine you can be physically whatever you want. You can express yourself without being judged or like
Mhm.
the same platform that is accessible to again my people in Africa, even though they don't have access to being in the Times Square place or anywhere else. That's very strong to enable more
Yes.
diversity inclusion and get access to the same level of information, same level of, well, not same, similar level at
Yes.
least of assets.
We love it, man. Oh, that's what we love to hear. It's the reason why let me get some good claps. Let me get some good claps. All right, we love to hear that because we started this podcast for that very reason that we wanted people. And it was wonderful to see it in the comment sections of one of our first episodes of someone saying, you guys look like us. You know, I didn't realize people like us was in these positions. When we went to AWE, we went to your talk, and I looked over to Joy and I said, "Look, man, we're in here. You know, we're doing, you know, incredible things, and not just doing it, but we're leading. So we just want to give you a hand clap as well for having such a spirit of excellence. I tell
Absolutely.
people of color, I tell people of all ethnicities, we have to do things with a spirit of excellence. But when you are a minority, when you are a person of color, you have to absolutely take it to the next level. And so we just salute you so much for that. So we have two more questions and we're going to get out your hair. Go ahead and take it away, Joy.
Okay, so Saeed, what advice would you give someone wanting to get into the XR space?
Don't think too much. Get it.
There you go.
That's it. That's it. All right.
Yes.
All right, because again,
Yes.
don't be shy. Don't be shy. I mentioned this earlier. There is no area that XR doesn't touch. XR, think about XR as a tool, right? It's just a tool like AI is a tool. And all of this, if you want to be a doctor, get into XR is important. If you want to be, it's
Yeah.
just something that will enable you to do what you're doing today in a better way. So being it, using it like as a tool, or being in the technology like computer vision or AI, etc. There is a space for everybody. This is a new world. Really, that's why I call it a new world. So don't waste time. Get in.
I love it.
It's
Straight to the
perfect.
point. I love
That's
it.
that's perfect, Joy. Let's hit over the last one.
Yes. And so the show is called Get Them to the Metaverse. How do you get someone into the metaverse?
All right, John. So this is the part where maybe I'm going to be controversial, right? Um, I do think that we are all already in the metaverse.
Come on.
Okay.
Because what is a metaverse? For me, it's when you bring in the digital and the real world all together, right? So
Yes.
they're combined, and there is some level of it. What changes is the inputs and outputs, right? And we're transitioning from a 2D to a 3D. You want to be stuck to 2D, sure. You'll always be looking at things in a 2D. If you want to interact with anything digital, you are in a 2D. But why not go to 3D? Space is your screen.
Yeah.
And that's the part that people need to go into. And it could be like, by the way, one area, I think we talked a lot about VR and MR. I am super excited with as simple as AI glasses. Just think of
Yes.
the Ray-Ban
Talk
AI.
about it.
Oh, yes.
Just it's like you're becoming a superhuman. Now suddenly I have two more eyes that are connected to a brain that is way bigger than mine, maybe, and it can be just like visual search. It knows my contacts. It knows. We haven't seen applications there yet. It's in the
Come on.
build. But what this type of devices will enable is incredible, right?
Yes.
So um, for people to tell them, hey, that's why I love the title, Get Them to the Metaverse.
Hmm.
Get them to know that they are in the metaverse. Get them to embrace it and believe
Yes.
it and just take advantage of it because life is just going to be better. But like any other tool, people will find wrong. It's like, what's wrong with it? They will find that. There are always the half empty glass people. But I
Hmm.
what the metaverse is going to bring is going to be super, super amazing to humanity,
Come
to
on.
how we do things, to how we live, to our inclusion and diversity. And I'm super excited. That's why I said earlier, this may be my last piece of my career because I know
No, we
Oh, yes, that deserves some horns right there. That was
like,
absolutely incredible.
you know, we've had some pretty good dingers on here for like when someone answers that question. But this is by far like one of the best ones. So we once
Yes.
again you get the good claps. Okay, we have a bad clap sound, but this is the good clap sound. Okay, listen, this has been such an incredible, amazing time. Like
It has. Oh
I'm
my
blown away that I didn't even feel like it was an hour. We feel like we were just really getting started. And you kept your stories. You kept your stories to a minimum, so we appreciate you because we wanted to make sure we got through all these questions. We want to make sure we got a chance to really just hear your story, hear your vibration, and what's the reasons why XR is so important to you. And now that we've heard this story, and I'm sure everyone who watches this will also know, like this is. We've met a lot of people from Snapdragon, from Qualcomm. I haven't met one person yet that doesn't eat, sleep, and breathe this stuff. Okay, me and Joy wake up and we go like this: XR, like that's us every single day. Okay, and so we just appreciate you being such a light in this industry and being willing to come on the show and just talk more about everything that's going on in Qualcomm. So we really appreciate that again.
Yes.
So go ahead and let people know how they can connect with you even more so, how they can work with you in the future. Just give them any of that information that you may have.
Yeah, well, first of all, before I even do that, thank you so much for giving me this opportunity. For everybody that connects, of course. I have a Twitter, I have a LinkedIn. If you search my name, I'm there as a start Qualcomm. But more important, if we get a chance to connect at some point in the metaverse that you have,
Yes.
That's it. Joy, what you got to say?
This has been an amazing show. I know I'm more inspired to press on into this XR. I know you are. You should be too, people. But thank you all again for tuning into another episode of Get 'em to the Metaverse. Like, how are you feeling, Jay Dunn, about this episode? Oh my gosh.
I feel like $1 million XR bucks right now. Okay, we about to go get off this headset and get back to some XR work because once again we eat, sleep, and breathe this thing just like Said. Thank you again so much for coming on, being a part of our incredible podcast. I believe this is one for the books, one of the greatest ones, and one of the ones I believe it's going to stand the test of time as well because in the next 5 years, we're going to be talking again and having these conversations and being able to see where these platforms are going to grow to. And I'm just so excited to continue to work this with you, with Joy, and everyone else that's been doing the work. So once again, thank y'all for tuning in to Get 'em to the Metaverse. It's been incredible. Look. All right, now we will tell you one quick. Let me stop the music. There's one last thing we asked you to do. We always ask our guests to do a quick freestyle, a little rapidy rap. Okay, so we gonna go ahead and drop the beat for you.
Hey, let me ask you, is that true?
No,
Don't look at her. Don't look at her. Look.
You don't have to do that. He's been great.
Yeah, but what we'll tell people they have to do is you need to subscribe to the channel.
Yes.
Comment below. Let us know how much you enjoyed the content as we will continue to push forward and get into the metaverse into our next season. Once again, Said, thank you so much for hanging on with us and connecting with us so deeply. Once again, people, we will see you next time on Get 'em to the Metaverse. Peace.